Hello students, hope you all are fine. Please stay at home and stay safe. Okay. Now here I am to take your first chapter of subject chemistry, that is language of chemistry. Okay. So our first chapter is chapter 1. Language of chemistry. Now what are the things you have to learn in this chapter? You are going to learn about what is symbol. Now what are the rules for writing the symbol? What is valency? What is variable valency? What is radical? How to write a formula? What is chemical formula? Then balancing equation. What are the methods for balancing equation? As well as we have to calculate here relative atomic mass or relative molecular mass of a given elements as well as compound, and we have to also calculate the percentage composition. So these are the topics which we will cover in this chapter. As children, already in class 7th and 8th we have studied language of chemistry. So there is a humble request with you all. Please take out your class 8th book. First you go through the book. There is given language of chemistry, and then further we can correlate the things which is given there. So first topic which we will start, that will be symbol. Now as we know, there are 118 elements available on the surface of earth. Now that 118 elements is having their own atomic number and mass number. Next, that all elements need to write in a short form. Suppose if I say just write all the formulas, or sorry, just write all the elements, it will take time. Okay. Plus if we write its shorthand, or if we write it as a short form, it will take less time. So for that thing, writing all the symbol, all the particular elements, we need a use of symbol there. Therefore, we can say that the shorthand of elements is called as symbol. Shorthand of an element is called as symbol. Now, symbol represents the qualitative and quantitative meaning. See, it is given in your book, page number 1, where symbol represents a specific element of one atom of an element, such as if I write here simple sulfur. This is element and sulfur's symbol is S. Now this represents the symbol of the sulfur, and this represents how much atom is available here. Next, symbol also represents the weight of element equals to its atomic weight. It also represents the how much this is equals to its atomic weight. So, in this case, in year 1807, John Dalton, he said that, he suggested that whatever the elements are available, we will write their figurative symbol. So when he has started to give the figurative symbol of different elements, what are the symbols he gave? He gave a circle for oxygen. He gave circle and in between one dot for hydrogen. Then he gave circle and plus sign in between, that represents sulfur, and circle and one line, he represents this particular symbol as nitrogen. Now what was the condition? These particular symbols, when we used to learn it, little bit it is easy, but when it came into application while writing the symbols as well as formulas of different compound, it creates trouble. That is why this type of figurative symbols is being abandoned. Okay. and therefore again one scientist he named as Berzelius. Named as Berzelius. He gave a simple system of representing elements with symbol. He said कि we have to concentrate or we have to follow the following rules. First he arranged the elements. After arranging the elements, he find out some of the elements. He suppose arrange these elements such as calcium, carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen and so on. He says first we will take the first letter of the element and the first letter of the element will be the symbol of the particular element such as carbon. First letter is C, so the symbol of carbon will be C, such as hydrogen. First letter of hydrogen is H, symbol will be H. Nitrogen. First letter of nitrogen is N, symbol will be N. Then oxygen. First letter is O, symbol will be O. Then phosphorus. First letter is P, symbol will be P. Okay. Then fluorine. First letter is F, symbol will be F. Then iodine. First letter is I, symbol will be I. Okay. Like this he says when we arrange all the element, whatever the first letter of the element will be the symbol of different element. But after that, what was the problem? Problem was some of the elements are starting with the same letter. Such as I have used here carbon, symbol is C. Suppose if I talk about calcium, then cobalt, then chlorine, then chromium, then cadmium. Now you see, these all are the elements which are starting from C. Now again the same problem came. How we can take the first letter again? Therefore he suggested that we can use either first second letter or first third letter or like that. Therefore for calcium he gave us symbol Ca. For cobalt he gave symbol Co, where he has taken first and second letter. In case of chlorine he has taken first and third letter, where C and L. In case of chromium again first letter and third letter. And in case of again first letter and third letter. So this is about the second rule. First rule he said we will take the first letters, that will be the symbol. In second case he said we can take first and second or first and third, and thereafter the symbols is being identified. But in again some of the cases, what he said, we have to go through the Latin names of the different elements. Such as if we talk about iron, copper, then silver, then lead, then gold. Now you see, these are some elements and few more examples are there where we can't take first letter. First letter of iron is I, that represents iodine. First letter of copper is C, that represents carbon. First letter of S represents sulfur. Again here L, that is not possible here. And gold, G. So for these all elements he has taken Latin names, where Latin name of iron is ferrum. Latin name of copper is cuprum. Latin name of silver is argentum. Latin name of lead is plumbum. Latin name of gold is aurum. Therefore, he took the first and second letter of the Latin names and identified the symbol of particular element. Such as symbol of iron is F, E. Symbol of copper is Cu. Symbol of silver is Ag. Symbol of lead is Pb. Symbol of gold is Au. So these are the 3 points which we have to keep in mind ki how we have to identify the symbols. First is we have to go through the first letter of the element that represents symbol. Then second rule, we have to go through the first and second or first or third or first or fourth. It represents a symbol. And in some of the cases, we have to go through their Latin names and their symbol is being identified. This is how symbol came into existence, and till now we are studying that. I think this topic is clear to you. Now we can proceed for the next topic. Now, our first topic is valency. Next topic is valency. See children, already in class 7th and 8th I told you what is valency. 5 points I gave you with respect to this. Are you remembering or not? If you are not remembering, let me again remind you the number of electron donated or number of electron accepted from the valence shell just to have nearest noble gas configuration is called as valency. Now it is clear? So, as we know, or just before that let me tell you how it works or what are the conditions applied here. See, this is nucleus which is positively charged having proton and neutron. This is nucleus, okay? Now, this is the last shell. Last shell is called as valence shell. And the shell next to the nucleus is called as bound shell. Shell just before the valence shell called as penultimate shell. Now, as I told you 5 points, out of that we will discuss the example of valency, where I told you number of electron donated or number of electron accepted from the valence shell just to have nearest noble gas configuration is called as valency. Now, let me give you 2 examples where we can verify this definition. First example is sodium. Atomic number of sodium is 11. If I write its configuration 281. Second example, chlorine. Atomic number is 17. 2, 8 and 7. Okay. Now, number of electron donated or accepted from the valence shell. Means from the last shell only the electron will donate or electron will accept. So here in last shell there is 1 electron. And already we have studied or already we know just for the stability last shell should attain always 8 electrons. Here you see 8 electrons are not there. Here is only 1 electron. It means either it will give 1 electron or it will accept 7 electron. So accepting 7 electron needs more energy than giving 1. Therefore, there will be loss of 1 electron. This 1 electron will comes out. As this electron comes out, what are the things remaining? 2 and 8. Again the same thing here. If here this thing wants to donate total 7 electron, it will take more energy than accepting 1. Therefore, there will be acceptation of 1 electron. What are the things left here? 2, 8, 8. Okay. Now, these are the noble gas configuration. Such as 2 and 8 represents 10. And 10 is the configuration of neon. Okay. Now, 2, 8 and 8. This represents 18. And 18 is the configuration of argon. Now, you see. Again what will happen as it is donating 1 electron. So if anything is going to donate or any element is donating electron, that will be the number of charge on that particular element. And if any element is accepting electron, that will be the charge on the particular element. If it donates, always having positive charge. If it is accepts, always having negative charge. So here sodium is donating 1. Now here sodium will have positive charge. One electron is donated to one charge. Here chlorine is accepting, chlorine will have -1 charge. Is it clear? Now again we will go through the definition. Number of electron donated or number of electron accepted from the valence shell just to attain nearest noble gas configuration is called as valency. Understood? Now you see here one electron is donated and accepted. Charges are +1 and -1. If suppose we go for the donation of 2 electrons, charges will be +2. If 3 electron, to +3. Okay. Again here, if there will be acceptation of 2 electron, charges will be -2. And if there is acceptation of 3 electron, charges will be -3. This is about valency. Okay. Number of electron donated or number of electron accepted from the valence shell just to attain nearest noble gas configuration is called as valency. Now after that, and keep in your mind always or in maximum cases, metals shows positive charge. Metals shows positive charge or there are positively charged ions, and non-metal shows negative charge in maximum cases. Clear? Now one more thing is here, variable valency. Some of the elements are having variable valency where electron comes out from the penultimate shell and hence they are called as variable valency. Certain metal exhibit variable valency because their electron comes out from the outermost shell just before outermost shell and hence they shows variable valency. Now if I say example of variable valency, simple in your book, example is written copper 29 whose configuration is 2, 8, 18 and 1. Now from here one electron comes out, charge will be +1. But in some cases this 18 electron also gives 1 electron here, here remains 2 and in that condition copper +2 charges is there. Like the same, one more example, iron +2, iron +3. So these are some examples of variable valency. Now how you will name it? Which will be having lower valency, its suffix will be OUS, means cuprous, ferrous. If the valency, the charges is more, suffix will be IC. Here cupric, here ferric. Okay. So these are the conditions of valency as well as variable valency. I hope this is clear to you. Okay. Once you go through the book, it will be more clear to you. Okay. And you have to go through the examples also. Now our next topic is radical. Now our next topic is radical. See in your book page number 3. Page number 3 is having valency chart. Page number 3 is having valency chart where there is positive radical and where there is negative radical. These positive radicals, see maximum is elements only, this metals only. But in negative radicals we have seen that some of the elements are having 2 or more elements or some of the radicals are having 1 or more elements such as ClO minus, H3O3, HCO3 minus, CO3 minus 2, SO4 minus 2. Now in this condition, this is with respect to negative one. One more we are having in positive, NH4 plus 1. Now these all are the examples of radical. Now you will say what is radical? Listen, the number, you will say a group of atom of an element. A group of atom of an element having overall charge is called as radicals, where more than one or more than one elements are there. See, here is 2 elements, here is 3, 2, 2, 2. So a group of atom of an element having overall charge is called as radicals. And maximum radicals are negatively charged except one. This is ammonium ion. This is ammonium ion. So if there is a question differentiate between valency and radical or ion and radical, so you will write ions are positive and negative charge, ions are having or only one element shows ionic condition, but in the case of radicals there can be more than one elements which is having overall charges. Okay. Now our next topic is chemical formulas. Chemical formula. See children, as we are having first topic symbol. So symbol is the short form of an element. Here chemical formula is a short form of a compound. Chemical formula is a short form of a compound. Compound means chemical compound. Okay. Already many formulas we have practiced in class 7th and 8th. Like the same, exactly same rule. What the work you have to do? You have to learn the valency chart. I know you forgot, but still again you have to learn it. Okay. If you will learn valency chart, it will be helpful for you and you can write as many as formulas you can want. Okay. So the short form of a chemical compound is called as chemical formulas. Again the same, what are the steps you have to follow? If suppose I give you example to write a formula of calcium oxide. Simply you will write calcium oxide. This will be the name of a chemical compound. Now just to represent this thing in a short form, we need a help of formula. So calcium represents Ca. Oxide is oxygen. Valency of calcium +2. Valency of oxygen -2. Cross multiplication. If both the numbers are same, cancelled out. CaO. Next example, ammonium chloride. Symbol of ammonium is NH4 +1. Chloride Cl -1. If both the numbers are same, cancelled out. But if the condition is here, if you write the formula of magnesium carbonate, Cmg +2. Carbonate is CO3 -2. Cross multiplication MgCO3. If suppose there is example to write a formula of ammonium carbonate suppose. So ammonium is NH4 +1. Carbonate is CO3 -2. Now you see both the numbers are different. It means this whole ammonia will multiply by 2 and this whole CO3 will multiply by 1. Therefore, we will write like this NH4 whole twice. Clear? Keep this thing in your mind. Because you do this mistake, that's why I am telling you. And CO3. This is what the formula of ammonium carbonate. So this is about chemical formula. What is chemical formula? Short form of a chemical compound is called as chemical formula. For writing chemical formula, you have to work hard. You have to learn the valency chart. Without valency chart, writing formula is not possible. And in your book, many examples are given. See, page number 5. You have to learn. See, it is given acid, base and salts. So salt, you have to learn all the formulas. Plus, you have to learn the salts, especially from gypsum to washing soda. Then again, page number 6 is having how to write a formula. And then page number 7 is having, page number 7 and 8 is having a table. See, some important formulas with the valencies of the element. No need to learn these all. If you will learn valency chart, it will be helpful for you. You can write any formulas. Okay. And next is chemical equation. Next is chemical equation. case of chemical equation, whenever any chemical reaction takes place and if we represent that reaction in a short form, that is chemical equation. Such as a simple example I am taking here. When hydrogen reacts with water form, oxygen forms water. So if I represent that in a form of short form, that is called as equation, where H2 plus O2 forms H2O. This is a chemical equation. Now we have to see or in this chemical equation, always the left hand side is reactant and always the right hand side is a product. Okay, and we have to keep in mind, first we have to check whether it is balanced or not. So we have to calculate the total numbers of atom of an element present here, such as here is 2 hydrogen, here is 2 hydrogen is balanced, here is 2 oxygen, here is 1 oxygen, means oxygen is not balanced. Therefore this equation is called as unbalanced equation. Now if we want to balance it, there is 2 methods. One is hit and trial method given in your book, and second one is partial equation method. Now first we will see here how to do hit and trial, which already we are doing by just checking out the numbers of the element of an atom of an element, and then we are multiplying by the same, such as H2 plus O2 gives out H2, 2 hydrogen balanced, 2 oxygen, 1 oxygen. It means if I write 2 here, now you see 2 oxygen, 2 oxygen. Oxygen is balanced, but in this case hydrogen is not balanced. Again I will write 2 here. 2 2s are 4 hydrogen, 4 hydrogen. Hydrogen is balanced. 2 oxygen, 2 oxygen. Oxygen is balanced. So these types of equation is called as balanced equation. Okay. So we can say there are 2 types of chemical equation, balanced chemical equation as well as in unbalanced chemical equation. In case of unbalanced chemical equation, the number of an atom of an element on reactant side is not equals to the product side, and in balanced equation the number of atom of an element on reactant side equal to the product side. Okay, so this is about the chemical equation by hit and trial method. This method is called as hit and trial method. Hit and trial method. Okay. Now our next method is partial equation method. Let us see that method. See, in case of partial equation method, what are the steps we have to follow? In this case, first there is a complex reaction will be given, and for that complex equation we need 2 to 3 equations which is having their individual steps. We will write that, then we will finalize the equation and we will balance it. Such as in your book on page number 10, 2 examples are given, but I will go through the example which is given, I will go through the question which is given in the exercise. So on page number 17, question number 22, first part. See, question is reaction of excess ammonia with chlorine, where ammonia is using as a reducing agent. Now equation number, see this is the equation, and for this equation 2 more equations are given. First one, ammonia first react with chlorine to give hydrogen chloride and nitrogen, and second one, hydrogen chloride then further react with excess ammonia to give ammonium chloride. Now let us start. Ammonia first react with chlorine. Ammonia first react with chlorine to give hydrogen chloride and nitrogen. Okay. Then question, this is the equation number 1. Now again equation number 2. Let us take equation number 2. It is given hydrogen chloride. Hydrogen chloride further react with excess of ammonia forms ammonium chloride. This is equation number 2. Now you see here nitrogen is 2. If I will write 2 here, nitrogen is balanced. Now H6, N2, N2, C2, C6. First equation is balanced. Second H4, N1, Cl1. Now what we will do? We will just cancel one reactant to the another product and another product to the another reactant. Okay? Means crisscross we will cancel it. Now you see NH3 and Cl2. Here is no NH3 and Cl2. Nothing we can cancel. Here HCl and N2. HCl and NH3. It means we can cancel out HCl. If I will cancel this one HCl from here there will be 5 HCl. Okay? Now else nothing can be cancelled out. So whatever the things are there, we will copy down. 1 plus 2 plus 1, 3. 3 NH3 plus 3 Cl2 gives out 5 HCl plus nitrogen plus NH4 Cl. This is your balanced equation. Okay? It means for a partial, and this type of method is called as partial equation method. Okay? So this for partial equation method, for balancing this equation, we need 2 equations more, or in some of the cases 3 to 4 equations can be also given. Now let us see whether number of atom of an elements are same or not. 3 nitrogen, 2 plus 1, 3 nitrogen. Then 9 hydrogen, 5 plus 4, 9 hydrogen. 6 chlorine, 5 plus 1, 6 chlorine. Means this equation is balanced. Okay? So, what you have to do, you have to go through the 2 examples which are given on page number 10. Go through it. I think it will be clear to you, but if it is not clear, please ask me. And question number 22, second part, try to do by yourself. Otherwise, I will discuss when I will give question answer. Okay? So, children, this is about valency, symbol, variable valency, radical, then formula, then a compound, as well as balancing equation. Few more topics are left that I will tell you in second video lecture. Till then, you see these video lectures, try to practice, and please try to learn this valency chart and practice more and more writing formulas as well as balancing equation. Okay? Because these things is too much important and can come in exams. Okay? I hope everything which I taught you today, it is clear. Whatever the queries you are having, please give in a comment section. Please ask in a comment section, and I will try to clarify your all the queries. Thank you.